Year 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, isn't it? Poetic justice? It's such a beautiful thing, isn't it? This year the tables won't just turn, they'll spin like a carnival ride, throwing them off balance, leaving them dazed and desperate. The world has never seen a year like this. A year where the scales tip so violently that those who once sat high in their ivory towers will find themselves scrambling on the ground, just trying to hold on to whatever pieces of their power they can cling to. Their lies, their manipulations, their control. They'll all unravel before their eyes, because this year everything they've built will crumble, and those who they thought were beneath them will rise from the ashes with a fury they never saw coming. The year 2025 is not just a number on a calendar, it's a countdown to reckoning. It's a warning to those who have exploited, crushed, and oppressed the masses for too long. For years they have played their game carefully. They have moved like shadows in the night, pulling strings from behind the curtains and convincing the world that they are untouchable. They've convinced themselves that they are invincible, but they've been living in an illusion. And this year, that illusion will shatter. Every action they've taken, every breath they've stolen, every injustice they've allowed will come back to haunt them. It will suffocate them with the weight of the very world they've tried to suppress. The darkness they've sown will be their undoing, because you can only push people so far before they fight back. Do you feel it? Do you hear the whispers of change in the wind? The world is waking up, and this time it's not just a few voices in the crowd. It's a deafening roar that will rise from every corner of society, every place they thought they were safe, every position of power they believed was theirs. By right will become their prison. Their walls will close in, and they'll be left with nothing but the broken fragments of their empire. The same empire they've exploited for their own gain. They'll have no one to turn to, no one to protect them when the very people they've oppressed come for them. There is no escape from the reckoning that is coming their way. Those who thought they could control the narrative, those who thought they could rewrite history to suit their needs, those who believed they were above the law, they will face the consequences of their arrogance. They will face the truth that they cannot outrun. The lies they've told will be exposed. The corruption they've hidden will be laid bare for all to see, and they will stand naked in front of the world with nothing to hide behind. This is not a warning. This is a promise. 2025 will be the year that everything changes, and there will be no place for them to hide. The power they once held, the power they used to crush those beneath them, will become their shackles. The very system they built to serve them will turn against them, and they will be left with no allies, no supporters, no friends, just the cold reality of their own choices. They will watch as the world shifts beneath their feet, and they will realize too late that they were never in control. They were never the ones calling the shots. They were simply pawns in a game, much larger than themselves. The game was rigged from the start, and now it's their turn to lose. But this isn't just about revenge. It's about justice. It's about the balance that has been skewed for too long. It's about giving the people their power back and showing them that no one is invincible, no one is untouchable, no one is above the consequences of their actions. This isn't about destroying the system. It's about breaking it open and rebuilding it stronger, better, and fairer for everyone, because the system they created was never meant to serve the people. It was built to serve them and their greedy desires. But now the people are awake. They are armed with knowledge. They are armed with the truth, and they will stop at nothing to take back what is rightfully theirs. For years we've been told that we have no power, that we are helpless, that we are weak and insignificant. But that was always a lie. They told us to keep us in line, to keep us afraid, to keep us dependent on them. But now we see the truth. We are powerful. We are unstoppable. And this year, we will take back what has been stolen from us. We will take back our freedom, our dignity, and our future. The year 2025 will be the year that we rise, the year that we stand tall and demand what is rightfully ours. Do you think they expected this? Do you think they ever imagined that the oppressed would unite, that the silent majority would rise and reclaim what was stolen from them? They thought we were divided. They thought we were broken. They thought we would never fight back. But they were wrong. We are stronger than they ever imagined, and we will not be silenced. We will not be ignored. The year 2025 is our year, and there is nothing they can do to stop us. As the years go by, the cracks in their empire have become more and more apparent. The lies they've told have started to erode their foundation, and the truth is beginning to leak through the cracks. They tried to hide it. They tried to bury it, but it always finds a way to the surface, and when the truth comes out, it brings everything down with it. Their empire, built on lies and deceit, will collapse under the weight of its own corruption. They will fall, not because we are stronger, but because they are weaker than they ever realized. The year 2025 will be the year when the entire game is turned against them. It will be the year when they realize they have played their hand one too many times, and now the tables are turning. The pieces are shifting, and they will have nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The storm is coming for them, and it will consume everything in its path. They will be swept away by the force of the people's rage, the people's power, and there will be no escape from the consequences of their actions. They thought they were untouchable, but they are just as fragile as the rest of us, and now they will feel the full weight of their own arrogance. So as we stand on the cusp of this new year, we must remember that this is not the end. This is just the beginning of a new era, the beginning of a new world, where the power is no longer in the hands of the few, but in the hands of the many. We are the ones who will shape the future. We are the ones who will create the world we want to live in, and the time for change is now. Let them watch. Let them tremble. Let them feel the fear that they have so long forced upon us, because the year 2025 is when their game ends, when their reign is over, and when the people rise to take what is rightfully theirs. It's time for the reckoning. It's time for the revolution. And it's time for them to face the consequences of their actions. This is our time. This is our year. And there is nothing they can do to stop us. We are the storm, and we are coming. The winds are picking up, and the clouds are darkening, swirling with the fury of those who have been wronged, those who have been crushed, those who have been betrayed. For too long, they have held the reins, directing the world with an iron grip, bending the masses to their will, and enforcing their dominance with an ever-tightening noose. But the noose is fraying. The fabric of their control is tearing apart, piece by piece, as the storm of rebellion gathers strength. They have been too comfortable in their power, too arrogant in their certainty, and they will soon learn the harshest lesson of all. Power, when unchallenged for too long, becomes its own greatest enemy. It's not that we've just decided to rise. It's not as simple as waking up one day and thinking, enough is enough. No, this is the culmination of years, decades, centuries of silent suffering, of people pushed too far, too many times. Every generation that they have kept under their boots has learned something that those in power never understood. There is a breaking point. Every lie they told, every injustice they committed, every promise they broke has been building towards this moment. We have been gathering our strength in the shadows, waiting for the right time, waiting for the moment when the scales would tip, and when they did, we would rise. The year 2025 is that moment. This is the year when the dam breaks. This is the year when the floodwaters will crash down on them, and there will be no place for them to run. No retreat, no escape. Their fortress of lies, built on foundations of deceit, will crumble. Their control, which they so tightly gripped, will slip from their fingers as though it was never truly theirs to begin with. The illusion of invincibility will dissipate, and in its place will be the crushing reality that they have no power over us. The year 2025 will strip away their masks and reveal them for what they truly are: vulnerable, scared, and desperate. They have made their mistakes. They have believed for too long that the world would remain the way they wanted it, that they could manipulate and control us, keeping us in a perpetual state of submission, working to their benefit, keeping us distracted and broken. But the world is changing. People are waking up. People are learning. People are fighting back. They can no longer control the flow of information. They can no longer keep us ignorant. We are no longer bound by their false narratives, their hollow promises. Their walls of oppression are crumbling, and as they do, we rise like the tide. And here is the most beautiful thing. They never saw us coming. They thought we were too divided, too fragmented to ever unite. They thought that their wealth, their influence, and their manipulation of the media would keep us apart. But the people have always been stronger than they realized. We are not just a mass of individuals. We are a collective force, an unstoppable wave that grows in strength as it surges forward. They never understood that the strength of the people lies not in the wealth of a few, not in the power of a few. No, it lies in the unity of the many. And when we stand together, nothing can break us. We are not some fleeting rebellion. We are a force that has been quietly gathering for years. And in 2025, we will have our moment. When we rise, it will be a cataclysmic rise that shakes the very core of the foundations they've built. There will be no mercy, no negotiations, no peaceful resolutions. The time for diplomacy is over. The time for compromise is over. They have shown us who they are, and now they will face the consequences. You see, they have become complacent. Their arrogance has blinded them to the reality around them. They have built their kingdoms on oppression and deceit, but they have forgotten the most important thing: the strength of the human spirit. They thought they could control us, keep us divided, keep us weak. But they have underestimated us for far too long. And in 2025, they will feel the full force of that underestimation. Look at them now. Look at the way they carry themselves, as though they are above us, as though they are immune to the laws of nature, the laws of justice. They sit in their ivory towers, surrounded by luxury and wealth, thinking that they are untouchable, thinking that they are immune to the very forces of fate that govern the rest of us. But they are wrong. They will soon learn that no one is above fate. No one is above the consequences of their actions. The clock is ticking. The walls are closing in, and no matter how hard they try to hold on, they will be swept away by the tide of justice that is coming for them. But let us be clear. This is not a fight for vengeance. This is not about revenge. This is about justice. This is about the reclamation of what is rightfully ours. This is about taking back the power that has been stolen from us. For too long, they have used their wealth and influence to keep us down, to keep us from realizing our full potential. They have built their wealth on our backs, on our labor, on our suffering. But we will no longer be their slaves. We will no longer allow them to use us for their own gain. This is our time. This is our revolution. The year 2025 will mark the end of their reign. It will mark the beginning of something new, something beautiful, something just. We will rise. and we will tear down their walls. We will dismantle their empires. We will burn their lies to the ground and rebuild the world on our terms, not theirs. We will create a world where everyone has a voice, where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, where no one is left behind and no one is oppressed, and they will not be able to stop us. They will try, of course. They will fight with every last ounce of power they have left, but it won't be enough, because the world is no longer in their hands. The world is in ours. We are the storm, and we are coming for them. They will scream for mercy, but we will show none. They will beg for forgiveness, but we will give them none. They will try to negotiate, but the time for negotiations has passed. The time for justice is now, and in the face of our determination, their walls will crumble, their power will fall, and their empire will burn. They will have no one to turn to. They will have no one to protect them. Their allies will scatter, their wealth will become worthless, and their influence will evaporate like smoke in the wind. But we will stand strong. We will rise, not as individuals, but as a united front. We will rise as the people, and we will show them that their power was never truly theirs to begin with. We will show them that the people hold the true power. We will rise, and we will take what is rightfully ours. This is our time, and we will not be stopped. They thought they could control us. They thought they could keep us down. They thought they could keep us divided, but they were wrong. We are united, we are strong, and we are coming for them. The year 2025 is the year the tables turn. The year the game is over. The year we reclaim our power. And they will learn the hardest lesson of all. The people are unstoppable on a foundation of lies, deceit, and manipulation. And now, they are about to watch it all come crashing down. The system they've created, a system designed to keep them at the top and the rest of us beneath them, will no longer serve them. Their carefully constructed walls of power, their intricate networks of control, will be shattered. And when the dust settles, they will realize the truth that they never understood. They were never in control at all. We were always the ones with the power, and now we are taking it back. They thought they could divide us, turn us against one another, keep us weak and fragmented. They pitted us against each other with their lies, made us believe that we were not worthy of the same opportunities, the same freedoms, the same respect. But what they failed to realize is that, through it all, we were learning. Every injustice, every lie, every manipulation they threw at us, we absorbed it, we internalized it, and we grew stronger, we grew wiser. The fractures they created among us have healed, and what was once a scattered, disjointed force is now a unified, unstoppable army of resistance. The year 2025 will be the year they realize that the people they've trampled over are not the same people they once underestimated. We have risen from the ashes of their oppression, and we are ready to take back everything that was stolen from us. We are no longer afraid. We are no longer weak. We are not just survivors. We are warriors. And when the storm arrives, it will not just blow through their gates. It will level their castles, burn their foundations, and sweep away the remnants of their empire. They have created a system of power that depends on our subjugation. They have built their fortunes on our labor, our sweat, our sacrifice. They have enriched themselves at the expense of our pain, and they have taken everything from us, their hands stained with the blood of those who have suffered and died in silence. And they have done this for so long that they began to believe it was their right, their destiny, their birthright. But they failed to see that there are consequences to every action, that the world cannot forever bend to the will of the few. The year 2025 will be the reckoning they never expected, the price they will have to pay for their years of exploitation and deceit. For years, they watched us struggle, saw us fight amongst ourselves, saw us exhausted and worn down by their constant barrage of manipulation. They thought they had won, that the fight had been taken out of us. But what they didn't understand was that the fire that burns within us cannot be extinguished so easily. For every person they crushed, for every voice they silenced, they planted the seeds of a movement that would one day rise and tear their world apart. They thought they could extinguish our spirit, but in doing so, they only made it grow stronger. The storm we are bringing in 2025 is not one of mere rage, but of righteous fury. It is the fury of those who have been wronged, the fury of those who have been denied the right to live freely and without fear. It is the fury of the workers, the soldiers, the dreamers, the outcasts, the very people they have tried so hard to keep down. This is a fury that will not be pacified by false promises or empty gestures. This is a fury that will burn through their lies and expose them for the frauds they are. This is the fury of a world awakening to the truth, and it cannot and will not be ignored. The beauty of it all is that they are blind to their own weakness. They still believe they control the narrative. They think they can simply write us off, silence our voices, and continue with their domination as though nothing has changed. But we are no longer the people they once controlled. We are no longer the people who will accept their lies as truth. We will no longer be content with their broken promises and hollow words. We have seen through their games, and now we are coming for what is ours. They will fight us, of course. They will try to hold on to whatever power they have left. But the harder they fight, the more they reveal the cracks in their empire. The truth is, the power they hold over us was never their own to begin with. It was a gift, granted to them by a system that we now see for what it truly is: corrupt, broken, and ultimately unsustainable. They are the ones who have failed to see that we are the ones who give them their power. They believe that they can control us with their wealth, their lies, and their violence. But what they don't understand is that power, real power, is not held in banks or in boardrooms. It is held in the hearts of the people, and we are done with letting them steal that from us. So, as they brace for impact, as they try to shore up their defenses and build new walls around their crumbling empires, we will be there, united, unwavering, and unstoppable. We will break down their walls, we will tear through their defenses, and we will watch as they try desperately to hold on to the world they have created. But their grip will slip, and they will fall, because the storm that is coming cannot be stopped. They cannot fight the tide of justice that is now sweeping across the world, and when they fall, we will rise from the ashes. We will take our place, not as survivors, but as the true rulers of the world. They thought they could keep us under their boots forever. They thought they could destroy our hope, our spirit, our will to fight, but they underestimated us, and now they will pay the price for their ignorance. We are the storm, and when the storm comes, nothing can stand in its way. Not their money, not their power, not their influence. When the storm arrives, it will wash away everything they have built, leaving only the truth behind. And the truth is this: the people are unstoppable. They will never know what hit them. The year 2025 marks the dawn of a new era, a time when the people rise and take back their power from those who thought they could hold us down forever. The storm is coming, and with it, the reckoning that will sweep away the lies and corruption that have governed our world. They will learn that their control was always an illusion, and when the dust settles, it will be the people, united and unstoppable, who will reshape the future. This is our time, and nothing can stand in our way. The game is over. We are here, and we are taking back what is rightfully ours.